Dr. Buckley. On this Mother's Day, I want to welcome the esteemed members of the faculty and staff, our ever-supportive friends and family, and each other, the Duke Physician Assistant Program, affectionately referred to as DPAP, Class of 2019. It is my honor to stand here today and to deliver these thoughts and reflections to this incredible student body. As I stand here humble and only just slightly terrified, it is not my intention to bestow advice because you are all brilliant, capable, and accomplished, but rather to express my deep appreciation, my admiration, and my belief in this program and each one of you. To be honest, I had a completely different speech planned up until Friday. It was nice, it was appropriate, but it was lacking the heart that I wanted to give you all today. Let me make this clear though, I'm not plugging procrastination. I'll put that off for later. Growing up, like most children I imagine, I was embarrassed to be different. We were a poor family living in a home without running water or television. Prior to moving to that home, my twin brother and I were born in an Airstream trailer, also without plumbing or electricity. Even my name made me feel different, so I went by Molly until high school. At that age, being different made me feel uncomfortable. Still to this day, ironically, both my father and mother continue to live in homes without running water. And I'm pretty sure they're the only 2 houses in the state of Wisconsin without it. I grew up the daughter of a traditional midwife, a woman with the innate ability to care for her patients and just about anyone within the community, helping babies come into the world and helping the elderly leave it. I always watched her as a child thinking she was magic, more of a medicine woman than a midwife in my eyes. I also knew I wasn't quite the same as her, which was okay. And so I went on to university to study science and became a first-generation college graduate. I will be honest, my mother and I don't always agree when it comes to practicing medicine. And instead of politics dividing the table at Thanksgiving, it has typically been topics surrounding modern medicine. However, I can tell you that she makes me a better care provider. I once wrote, there is a notion that children either emulate their parents in admiration or they distinguish themselves in revolt. I am the daughter of a medicine woman, and I choose to distinguish myself in admiration. By taking what I have learned from her and from everyone involved in my medical education, I hope to be a provider that practices evidence-based medicine with the art of medicine behind it. Somehow, our faculty and staff managed to take almost 2,000 applicants and select the students that you see here today. A group that complements each other, that teaches and supports one another. I am not standing up here saying that these last 2 years have been easy, but I can say, looking around at each one of you, it's easy to say that I would choose you and Duke in a heartbeat if I had to do it all over again. What I admire most about all of you is how diverse your stories are. Such different backgrounds and experiences, representing 26 states and a handful of countries from around the world. Between us, we have 88 different journeys that have brought us all here today. And by learning from each other and celebrating our differences, we have become fuller. Diversity drives our success. During didactic year, I watched this class pull the pieces together. I watched you form study groups to build each other up. The highly competitive environment that I was expecting was quickly dispelled. In a topic where some of us struggled, there was always a classmate who had it down and was willing to help us understand. Together, we made it through over 80 exams that first year. The start of clinical year really drove home the idea that the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. However, medicine is not just what we learn in classrooms or labs, but also from our experiences with people, whether it is patients, educators, or each other. As the end of clinical year approaches, some of us, maybe all of us, might feel a little anxious or unprepared to take on the full responsibility of patients, especially after some of the more recent lectures we've had. However, look around. We are surrounded by a community devoted to our success as future PAs, and we have been receiving the best education and training in the country. We are more capable than we give ourselves credit. The friendships, bonds, and memories that we have formed over the last 2 years are unforgettable. From our first-year PAC groups, physical exam partners and seatmates, to study groups that often functioned more as support groups. From friendships that formed over the last 2 years or as early as interview day, to friendships that should have started years ago. From back row snacks to front row Dwight Schrute and candy buckets, and everyone in between, you are an incredible group. Today, I want to thank all of our educators, from those who taught us within the walls of DPAP, to those who have and continue to educate us in the clinics and hospitals here in Durham and all over North Carolina. I believe that the best indication of a great teacher is one that instills the desire in their students to give back to education. And seeing so many Duke alumni coming back to teach in precept speaks volumes to the educators within this program and the community. I want to thank Mo for his continued dedication and hard work while serving as our STED Society and class president. The genuine concern and advocacy he demonstrates for his fellow classmates has been remarkable and contagious. I want to thank our friends and family for continuing to support us through this journey. Whether you are here in Durham or across the country, your support and understanding made this journey possible. To my husband, Drew, I said this at the end of our first semester and I'll say it again. The dogs and I would be malnourished and underwalked without you. You have been a source of mental, emotional, and physical health in these last 2 years. And of course, to the moms, a very special Mother's Day to you all. In closing, I'm not going to say that tomorrow is the beginning of a new chapter, because in reality, it's the start of the 3rd week of our 10th rotation. However, I will say, in preparing for the boards or the wards, reflect on the diversity of your journeys, celebrate your differences, trust your clinical experiences and education, and understand that you have the entire DPAP family at your back for whatever you need, because working with everything that we have will make us great PAs. Thank you.